Hello friends, welcome to today's lecture, and the topic of this lecture is strings and numbers. So let's begin. So we will talk about string. So what is a string? String is usually a bit of text you want to display to someone or on screen, right? So basically a string is a simple series of characters that we can see on the computer screen. For example, just the text you're seeing here is a string. So string has a very important role in any programming language to show the output. So we will look into it, how to deal with this. Okay. Python knows that you want something to be a string when you put either a double quote like this one, double quotes, or a single quote uh, around text, right? So you can use both in the same string. So whenever you put double quote or single quote around some text, it becomes a string in Python. For example, this is a string. You can see the double quotes around this text here, which shows that it is a string. Similarly, in single quotes around this text, again shows it's a string. And as I've told you, Python use both mixture of single quote and double quote. So you can see here a double quote is within a single quote. So this is acceptable in Python. So this is text within double quotes or single quotes that acts as a string, and it shows an output. And we'll look into some code here to let you understand what is a string actually in Pythonese. Okay. So now I will show you the first example, that is what is a string, how to use it in the coding. Okay. So I will use a variable string 1, string underscore 1 is equals to, within double quotes, this is a string. Okay. So we will use another string underscore 2, within this one will be within single quotes, this is a string. Okay. So now we will print it, and within print we will use the variable string underscore 1. Within another print we will use string underscore 2. Okay. We will save it and let's see how the output comes. Now I'm running it. You can see both the outputs are identical, but in the first string I've used the double quotes, and the second part I have used the single quotes. So as I have told you, both are acceptable in Python. Okay. So now we will look into few operations that we can perform in string. The first operation that we'll see is changing case in a string with methods. What is the case? Case means whether it's in lower case, means it's in small letters. We will change it to the upper letters. Whether it is in the upper letter, we will change it to the lower letters. We're using method. Method means of an easy procedure that will help us doing that, and Python provides few of the methods, the procedures for us, which will going to help us to do this task. Okay. So after changing the case, we will look into combining or concatenating strings. Combining, you can understand, that is adding two or more strings. Concatenating is meaning the same. It is more of a technical word for combining in programming. Okay. Next is adding white space to strings with tabs or new line. White space generally means adding some space. We can tabs, new lines means adding a new line to the text and all that. The fourth that we will see is stripping white space. It means if we, in this operation we will remove white space, or that is space, from the text. Okay, so this four operation we will see in this lecture. So the first is changing case in a string with methods. Okay, so in this operation we will change the case of the words in a string. So I have told you, if it is in uppercase we will try to do it in the lower case, and vice versa. So let's say an example. here the it shows the first name is hi user, and we are printing name.title, and you can see this thing around the title which shows that it is a function. And what is the use of this function is to change the first letter of every word to an uppercase. Okay, so if you run this print, we'll get an output hi user, where h will be hi and u will be high in uppercase. Okay, so let's look the code part, then you will understand. Okay, so title displays each word in the title case, that is the first letter is always the uh, uppercase. Okay, so next we have another two operations that defined in changing case. One is upper, that displays each letter of the word in the uppercase, and another function is lower, which displays each letters of the word in the lowercase. Okay, so again we will see an example of this in the coding section, and where we will understand it better. Now I will show you the use of the title function that we have read. Okay, so let's have a variable, name it as name, and store a string into it. So hi user, that I have shown you as example. Now have a print, and within print my aim is to get the first letters of each word as capital. So I have told you we will use the title function. It is name dot title. This is the function. Okay, so it will make the first letters of each word as capital. So let's save it, remove everything, and run this. Look at this, hi user, h and u of the two words are capital. Okay, so again you can see name underscore 2 is equals to, say it's my name is Abhi, so it's up. So A is small, all the letters are capital. Let's change the A to uppercase. Clean it, we run it. Look, A has been capitalized. Okay, so similarly we have other functions. We will read about that first, then again we will come back to it. Okay, now I have told you about the upper function, the lower function, and we will see the use of each of these functions. Okay, so this remains the same. I just removed Abhi, hi user. Okay, control S, and another name underscore 1, all is capital here. So first name dot title, that will just make the first two letters of the two words capital. Then we will change everything to upper, right? So print name dot upper, this is the function, and at the end I am going to make every letters of the word Abhi as small. Print name underscore 1 dot lower. Okay, this is the function to change it to lowercase, right? So now let's run this. First I have to clean it and run it. So there is a problem, name underscore. Okay, so remove the underscore. Now save it, there is no problem. Okay, now you can see the first is title, so H and U are capital, otherwise everything is the same as it is. The second is to upper, that means to change each letter of the word to word as capital, so this has been done here. And the last one is to lower, means we have to lower this up here small. This has been done. Okay, so in this way you can just change the case of each of this letter of a word. Try to do it and have fun with this. Okay, so next move on to the next topic. So our next operation is combining or concatenating strings. I have told you combining, as you know, is adding two or more text in this case, and concatenating is more of a technical word for combining in programming. Okay, so this operation we are going to join two or more strings and show the final output after joining the strings. The Python uses the plus symbol. You can see the plus symbol here to combine the strings. Okay, so let's see an example. Example is first name is Mike, the last name is Tyson. So what we're going to do here is we are going to add these two strings together, and what will we get is Mike Tyson. So we are going to print first name plus last name, and this will add these two words together and we will get Mike Tyson. So let's go to the coding section and let's see how it is going to work. Now, under combining and concatenating, I have to give you a preview of how it is done. So let's start with the first name. This one is Mike. Last name is Tyson. Okay, it should be small. I will show you the okay. So this first name is Mike, the last name is Tyson. So what we have to do, we have to add these two words. Okay, so let us store it into a variable as full name. Full name is equals to first name plus the last name. Okay, so we are adding the two names and then we have to print it. Let's see what comes up. We save it, clean this up and run this. So we can see they have added this one. Mike Tyson is the output. But are you satisfied with the output? What you need Mike space Tyson. So how will you add space? I will tell you in the next topic, but for just make it this comfortable, make it this to look fine, I'm showing you how you add space. So for space we need to add double quote, and within double quote we have to add this simple space bar. The space bar that will add a space. Okay, we save it, clean it and we run it. Look, Mike Tyson and the space between. So this space comes from this one. Okay, again it's not looking, it should be how it should be. So let's make this M and T as capital. You know how to do it by using dot title. So pause this video, try it by yourself, and if you can't, I'm going to show it now. So first name dot title will make M as capital. Similarly, last name dot title will make T as capital. Okay, let's save it, clean this up. This one is Mike Tyson. Fine, this is perfect. So let's move on to our next topic, that is adding white space. So we have seen this thing. So this method of combining string is called concatenation that I have told you. So this is a technical term, concatenation. I hope you have understood it. This is very important for showing outputs. In the future videos I will show you how this is very much important, whether you're going to do web designing or in data analysis. This is very important part. Okay, so let's move on to our next operation. Our next operation is adding white space to strings with tabs or new lines. So white space, I have told you, is nothing but just space. We are adding space to the strings. And why we need that? This is related to the user what he wants to show. So this is just extra features that I'm showing you that Python has, so you can use it to show an output in your way by adding space or not. Okay, so it depends upon the programmer. So in programming, a whitespace refers to any non-printing character such as space, tabs, or end of line symbols. What is end of line? It shows that the end of the line is reached and we have to start from the new line. So this new line means the end of line symbols. Okay. So to add tab, we use /t. It will add the space that tab gives. And if you want to go to the new line after having the end of the line, so we use /n. So it moves to the new line. Okay. So we better understand it in the coding part. So let's move into the coding section. Now to show the example, I'm going to use the terminal. Okay. So let's enter Python crop top. Okay. So first I'm going to show you how a tab can be added to a letter. So just print Python. Okay, this shows Python. Okay, now I am going to add a tab. I told you /t means a tab. Okay, so it will not come this one as output. /t will be interpreted, will be understood as tab in Python. So it will just add space in front of Python. Okay, and then Python. So let's enter it. Look, this is a Python, this is normal Python, and with tab T, what happens? There is a space here, means the tab. Now the new line character. Look, what can you see the difference? Python, after just I've entered after this T, it comes immediately into the next line. But after entering after this prompt, what happens? It says it's what the Python interpreter sees is that there is a new line character. It means we have to go to the new line. So it skips this line, comes to this line, and print the Python here. Okay. So I'm going to show you another example how it has been done. Okay. I'm going to show you the mixture of new line and tab. Okay. So print languages colon. So here I will add a T. T, it means a tab. Now I think better I should, okay. So first new line n. So what we'll do, whatever the to print after this will come after this language in a new line. Okay. Then let it be a bit T. The first language is Python. So let's run it. What is the output? Look, languages, then a new line within some space we have a Python. This is how you're going to print it. So let's print something more. Again, another language in new line. Okay, so in a new line, if you want to print, we need /n, and with some space as Python, we have /t and the name. Let it be JavaScript. Let's run it. Look, languages, then a new line means Python comes in new lines, then tab means some space been added before Python, and here it is. Similarly, after Python, a new line, this is a new line, a tab means space, and this JavaScript. Okay, this is fine. Now we will show you the last topic, that is in string, that is stripping whitespace, how to remove whitespace. So our next topic and the final topic in the strings part is stripping whitespace. So what does it mean? It means to removing the whitespace, the extra space that we have. Why we will need that? We need that basically in database operations, because if there is some space left, so it may be confusing for the programmer whether it's true or not. But for computer, white space means a character, but for us it may not mean something. I will show you. So extra white space can be confusing in programs. Why? To a programmer, we can see this Python and this Python look pretty much the same. You might be thinking, yeah, both are same, but we can, if you observe carefully, there is an extra space here before P and a space after N, right? Python and this Python with two space. So for a normal programmer or normal person, these two words may be the same, but for computer, these two are completely different words. So to removing this confusion, it's better to remove white space altogether. Okay, so but to Python, they both are different strings. Okay, so we need to remove white space whenever possible so that we get the raw word only without any space. To remove white space, we have three functions. Lstrip, it removes extra space from left of the string. Rstrip, it removes extra space from the right side of the string. And strip, it removes space from both sides of the string. Okay, so I'm going to show you how this works in the coding part, right? So let's move on to the coding section. Let's show you it here. So let's copy this one. Fab language is Python. Okay, so print fab language dot lstrip. Better, yeah, you can see it here, I guess. Control. So for the lstrip, the left side of the space has gone. Similarly, if you get rstrip, the right side of the space is gone. To remove both, we just have to do strip. Both sides of the space is gone now. So this is how you remove the space around a word or a sentence using strip function. Lstrip for left side, rstrip for right side, strip for both sides. Okay.